What's going on, guys? It's Kyle again with DTOM Knives and Gear, and today we're going to be doing the review of this beautiful beast. Look at this thing. This is the Andre de Villers, the ADV Alpha. Now, you're probably thinking, if you are subscribed to the channel and you have seen some of my videos, that this looks kind of familiar because I had the Andre de Viller Pit Boss loaned in from my good friend Ryan Stud Fishing. Now, this one is on loan from my buddy Kyle, Ref Wolf EDC. Wonderful channel, wonderful dude. Link will be down below. Definitely go check him out. The guy is a massive red-headed Sasquatch. That's what we like to call him, and we love him dearly. He let me borrow this, and oh my God, this thing is just wicked looking, right? Andre de Viller is a South African maker, and he's very, very popular, makes really polarizing designs just like this. I have had the Pit Boss. I have had Scott Big Boy Williams let me have the borrow the Butcher at one point. Really, really high quality made knives, and this one is no different. I just want you to see, and we'll get some more close-ups and stuff whenever we get to the desktop portion of the review. If I can get my camera to focus. Good God almighty, what the hell's wrong with you? You still wanting to focus on the back? Kinda, maybe. Gee, mother. I hate technology. Anyways, if you can kind of see, marbled carbon fiber with titanium S35 VN steel. Look at that freaking blade shape. I mean, I don't even know what to call that. Definitely has a recurve, huge amount of belly with a nice swedge on the top, which gives you a pretty damn thick tip for durability. Really cool the way he does his hole here on his knives for the deployment. Jesus, Mother Mary, focus. I don't know what's going on. I really don't. Anyways, it's kind of like a gear pattern. And so what I like about it is it gives you grip, not just a hole in something like a Spyderco, which works fine. But this really does kind of bite in without being too rough to get you to give you enough leverage to fling that guy out. And it looks cool. It just looks cool. So this is a manual operated flipper button lock. So I automatically am a fan because I love button locks, right? This thing, the flipping action, the detent is like a lot of other button locks. It's just not strong enough for what I think it should be. Now it does have a different opening mechanism, which is the finger hole, which is how I opened up this knife all the time whenever I carried this. So that's how I deploy it. I could really do without the flipper because it just doesn't do much for me. It's just that light. Like it's not good. The only other button lock flipper that I have right now, the Spartan Payless. Definitely still a very weak detent. And this one's on thumb studs, which works really good, and I can reverse flick it. But it's a problem with button lock flippers. It's just a thing. The Malibu is pretty good. It's pretty snappy. The Orion Knives Solaris, that one is pretty snappy, but they all still have a pretty weak detent, and it's just a problem. Not a big deal though. God, this thing, it feels like a machine. It really does. It is so industrial looking. Like I said, we will get some closer because my camera's not going to focus. Get some closer pictures here in a second when we flip the camera around. But it is just absolutely a lot going on. You've got an awesome looking pivot. Even the button for the button lock has an inlay of the marbled carbon fiber. Very, very, very nice. Very sexy. One thing this knife does have that I'm not a big fan of is a safety here, so you can lock the blade open and or closed. So, some people like that. I just don't like a safety on anything, even my pew-pews. So I could take that away. However, most safeties I really don't like because they just move up and down too easy. This one is very tactile. So I'm really glad that he actually went the extra mile to make sure that's the case, because I can handle it on this one. If it's something that's really loose going up and down, it is a no-go. This one, really not that bad. You definitely have a lot going on here with the ergos, with these very big finger grooves, a little swoop down here. So how is it ergonomically for my hand size? Fits like a glove. And of course, Kyle Lamphere, another big guy. He doesn't have chubby hands like me, but he has very long hands, and I think this fits him very well. Now, if my hands were any longer, and this might be a case, we could probably ask Kyle, this little area here, the way it swoops back, might not be that, because if my hand was on the top of that, that wouldn't be very comfortable. So if you have my size hands are smaller, I think this will fit your hand very, very well. Now, it doesn't have any kind of finger choil, but you can choke up here if you want to. I do not recommend it, though, because that little area is a shop. So definitely wouldn't recommend that. In this backed up grip, my thumb lands on the jimping, which is done very, very well. It is not too far apart, not too aggressive, but not smooth. I really, really like that. It is a very comfortable knife in hand, and if in the reverse grip, it's not near as comfortable, but it can be done. I don't ever use the reverse grip except for when I'm playing with my knives. And speaking of playing with knives, a button lock, guys, is just fun. It's a very fidgety way to make a knife, fun and not just functional, right? It is super fun to just press that button and let it go. Now, as you can see me pull the button, I'm going to set it in an angle, press the button, and as you can see, it falls. The payless, same way. So as long as the knife does that, I'm very happy with it. It's a very big blade. It's S35VN, and it is huge. Actually very surprised. I mean, the knife itself is a very big knife, but every time I fling it out, I'm just like, damn, that's a big old knife. And I like it. You guys know me, I like the big stuff, and this one definitely fits that bill. It's just so beautiful. The back spacer, my camera's not doing very well, so when we flip the camera over, we will get a much closer look at this, because I want you to see the detail that goes into the milling that's all over this thing. Really, really nice. You have the inlays feel really good. I can kind of feel, it's almost a little bit proud of the titanium, like not inset. So you do have a lip that goes all the way around that you can barely feel. So keep that in mind. You have the insert on the other side. And then you have this really industrial looking pocket clip. The pocket clip works really well. You're going to have about this much of your knife sticking out, so not very much. But of course, it's wide, it's heavy, it's big. So if you're looking for a bug out, don't buy this one. just don't buy it. This thing is absolute, just a knife enthusiast, knife collectors. This is what I got kind of knife, with ADV, he makes some really cool stuff. I've heard some good things about him. I've never talked to him personally. I think I've messaged him on Instagram, but I don't think I've ever heard back. He's probably a very busy guy, so I'm not holding that against him. But yeah, I've heard some good stuff. This blade, holy crap. I'm not going to do my cut test because this knife is actually been traded. And so I am sending it to its new owner tomorrow, and that's why I'm doing this review right now. So we're not going to do any cut tests. We are, however, going to flip the camera around and do some size comparisons, get some closer looks, so you can see this beauty next to some of my other bigger knives. Let's do it. All right, guys. Let's see if this camera will do its thing. There we go. As you can see, this shredded / marbled carbon fiber, however you want to say it. Look at the machining where this pivot is. Just the detail around here. Look at that push button with the inset marbled carbon fiber inlay. There is your flipper tab, which is nicely jimped. I do like the jimping on it, and it's, you can get this out there if you try. It's just a light detent, okay? So if you're giving it gas, it will go, and it is very fun to play with like that. But of course, boom, that's how I do it. Ooh, so get you another. There's that little gear pattern I was talking about on the hole. I just really like that. As you can see, it's got a radius / chamfer. Damn you, camera! All the way around those. So not sharp in the least. Really, really dig that. A lot of belly here. There is your Alpha ADV, and then on this other side you have S35VN. What does this say here? This one is, it says 54 2020. I do know this model has been discontinued. Well, at least I say that. One website said it was discontinued. So it might very well be. These things were around $460 when they were new. I actually think that's a pretty good deal. But it's not going to be for everybody. I know that. Here is your backside with the marble carbon fiber and your hardware holding it all down. Kind of like I said, you can see this raised up just a hair. There is your pocket clip. There is your lanyard hole. Rounded off on all the titanium around here, which makes for a very comfortable grip with this knife. As you can see there, we were talking about my grip. It just fits my hand perfectly right there, right? So if you've got longer, thicker hands, this direction might be a problem, but my hands are pretty big. So if you do, Goliath, damn. But yeah, very, very comfortable. Let's see what this thing is as far as specs, because as you can see inside the circle of my logo, it's huge. It is about 10 inches overall, guys. 10 inches overall length with a 4.5-inch blade, a 4.25-inch cutting edge, and then a closed length of 5.5 inches. Yep, that's big. It's got about 170 thousandths on the blade thickness. The handle thickness is nearly 600 thousandths, maybe just a little bit below. And I did not measure, I did not measure it behind the edge, so let's do that now. Of course, it's going to be probably different in the different areas. So we're talking about 20 thousandths. Maybe a little bit thicker on this portion. About 20 to 22 thousandths. So not a laser beam, but definitely pretty thin. Because it is a flat grind and a very tall blade, it could have been, I think it could have been done a little bit thinner, but it's not like it's ridiculously thick. It cuts, and it cuts well, but with that tall grind, it probably could have been done thinner, and I think people probably would have been like, yeah. Because I don't think you're going to take this knife out in the woods and beat on it. It's definitely not for that. It probably could handle it, but it's one of those that's just really cool looking. Let's go ahead and do some size comparisons. Here it is against the Spartan Knives Payless, the only other button lock I have at the moment. And as you can see, it dwarfs the Payless. Holy crap. Yeah. Dwarfs the Payless. Here is another longer knife that I have that you will see the review coming up very, very soon. This is the Leon Mall Koof 4.0. Yeah, this is a big knife. And yeah, it looks tiny compared to the damn Alpha. That's how big this guy is. And if you don't like big knives, don't know why you're still listening. Let's see what it looks like against another longer knife that I have in the collection, the Philippe Dorje 523 from Custom Knife Factory. Yep. Definitely a long knife, and then this one is longer, thicker. I believe the handle thickness is actually thicker on the 523, but yeah, it's a big one. So, a couple other ones that I have that are real big. Here it is against the Midgard's Messer Viking. As you can see, pretty similar. This has got it on the length by just a hair, and then of course the Cold Steel 4MAX. Obviously, these two are pretty damn close in every sense of comparison. It is maybe a tad bit longer with the 4MAX. The handle, you get a little bit more handle grip area because of the way this moves down and this curls up. So in my hand, I still even got room here. Oh, got to put it in frame. Very comfortable handle on the 4MAX. Does feel a little more locked in with the Alpha, obviously, because it just, oh, yeah, it's just not going anywhere. So, yeah, Cold Steel 4MAX and the Alpha, pretty damn similar as far as size. So, that should tell you something. Anyways, guys, I am a fan. I really like it. But this thing is going on to another owner, and so I need to ship this out to him. So, guys, go check out Ref Wolf EDC. Links will be down below. Tell them we said thank you from DTOM Knives and Gear. Guys, stay safe in this absolutely crazy world that we are living in, and we will see you in the next one.